Sanje Jodan Soji Jonamda, Chanshi Bando Dani Gyazoji, Ndaye Chinsoji Bezonamje, Rana Benje, Sanje Drugara Isho, Sanje Choda Soji Jonamda, Chanshi Bordo Dani Gyazoji, Ndaye Chinsoji. Dola Benje, Sanje Drugara Isho, Sanje Jodan Soji Jonamda, Chanshi Bordo Dani Gyazoji, Ndaye Chinsoji Bezonamje, Rana Benje, Sanje Drugara Isho. 多年研究中，就问其实生产看起，电子管上那边嘛，电线加上了所有的做宣传同做学长这送了我大约没给上头，这位预备的别这不也甚至新年觉了差在了。Okay, English.
And the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly, I take refuge until I attain enlightenment. For the merit of practicing generosity and so on, may I attain Buddhahood for all sentient beings.
Okay. So now we are on the 39. Maybe we'll look back on the 38. Mm-hmm. 38. That is what 38 là samba sheni kongan de dala samba chibui senni nyambar shachitan tuwar chachir zumbar chas 38 please.
Having given up all other intentions, being motivated by only one thought, I shall strive to settle my mind in equipoise by means of calm abiding, and to subdue it with superior insight.
단다 디나로야 리중으로와 단다 년부 된단테 아니 대열이야 될 하고도 되게 차제 아니 수수기다 치기 돈지세월 치기니 대리야 차베제스기 시대네 시대를 연구된다 치 아니 되네 다 뒤에 치기네 유대당 타르는 당사네 아니 지금 내 엠버데 처비 슈라야 세미나로야 양 가서 그래 대변도 차 그러려야 삼무당단은 이미 겁나 치 어찌니 만다니 용되도와 너 디직 정도냐나
Just look, as we take a look back towards verse 38, and what we sort of see in the context of verse 38 is two methods of relying on antidotes to particularly to desire and attachment. But there's kind of two focuses of that desire and attachment. The first one is sort of more focused on the kind of external objects of our desire and our clinging attachment, and then there's an explanation about how to rely on. So this is looking back to the verses before 39, where we look on the way that we rely on an antidote to that desirous attachment, more focused on external factors. But then also, if we are able to retreat away into an isolated place, then there's a second and still yet forms of desirous attachment arise in us, even in that isolated place. So they're not so focused on external, but more like an internal focus. Then there's also a second kind of explanation about how to rely on antidotes for that.
So now in the verse number 38 it talks about the having given up all other intentions, and that is something to highlight, because when you sit on the cushion, when you feel the place where you're staying is isolated, so now you have to think the best isolation is not only the place is so peaceful. The most important is do you have this sentence, having given up all other intentions? Do you have that? So what does that mean, giving up all other intentions? What is this all other intentions? Now, in the if you look at the commentary, in the Rinpoche's commentary, not very clear, but if you look at the Shiji Tagpa's commentary there, it is super clear, saying, "Nyomon be samba sheni kuntangwa deis." So all the nyomon be samba, how do you translate that? Unmute.
Afflictive states of mind or afflictive intentions.
Afflictive. Because afflictive
states of mind, I think, really.
States of
afflictive
mind.
states. Yeah.
Okay. So when you are surrounded by your friends, close friends, best friends, with enemies, then you should feel, I'm so easy to get the influence by others and to bring more attachment, that it brings super difficult for me to bring the concentration towards the goal that I'm trying to achieve. And then the enemies giving so much kind of information that making me upset and angry. So sometimes it's very hard me to calm my mind down. So now when you're alone, so then automatically you have to feel that all this intention, the outside intention, is not directly having some influence, but somehow the distractions from all the memories, you have that, isn't it? All these memories, it's just coming out. So that second part is a little bit more difficult to control. The first one, if you feel I need to step back, it's quite easy. The second one is a really hard thing to do. So the kind Shantideva is giving us this the stages of the steps that how to go into the meditation. So it is a on the Dharma part of way, we just called it, this is a teaching. But now in the normal way, normal orderly people, what they do, like it's a good example, like people who got a drug addiction. If somebody put a drug or a whiskey in front of you, and that person has addiction, that person gets so much distraction so fast. So number one step for this rehab thing, I think the best thing is to stay away from this distractions. Now the person is in the what is that called, center, in the center of the rehab center, and then he has no access to that. But and then he will, through his memory, through his habit, he will bring up all this strong desire to have it. And sometimes we give the excuse saying the biologically some kind of brain chemical things comes out from here and there, and it comes out, this desire. So now during the time of the time alone, and it becomes so difficult if you have some close friends that you wanted to have spend a time and you had a very sweet memories with them. So you will miss your children, your husband, your wife, girlfriend. If not married, quite easy. But married, then no problem is there because it's attached. And then now it is here saying this is holding the position. This 38 verse saying, having given up all other intentions, being motivated by only one thought, I shall strive to settle my mind in equipoise, and to subdue it. But then here, if you look at the commentary, one thought, only one thought is not other than meditating on bodhicitta. So now, when we go into meditation, you cannot bring lots of objects. I mean, not meaning object like physical objects. The object of the meditation. That is not other than the object, that image in here. So if you see some people bringing lots of statues with them and trying to get the shamatha, not happening. And especially person who have lots of statue in front of them and meditating on looking at the statues, not happening. You can come here. Okay. So very necessary is what do you have an object in your mind here? Focus. So here it is a bodhicitta. So what kind of a statue are you going to take with you if you are going to meditate on bodhicitta? A statue? Really? That's not going to happen. But there could be one help if this statue represents the bodhicitta. Then, of course, if this statue does not represent a bodhicitta, and you try to take one of the precious, most precious, maybe it's the favorite statue of His Holiness Dalai Lama, wherever he goes, he carries, and he has given this to you. Okay, just think, and take this statue in your cave, and you are the god, guarding it with so much pride. Oh, but it does not represent bodhicitta or the teachings of His Holiness. And you are just taking a statue, that's it. Nothing much special there. If His Holiness looks at the statue, that represents the bodhicitta. He is so kind because of that. So all these steps, how it's described here, it's teaching us, I think, whenever you look at the Buddha's image, statue of Buddha, whatever the holy objects, it should represent you something. Otherwise, maybe if it is pure gold, maybe a little bit precious. If it is made out of diamonds, more precious. So it's not how we say how this is holy or precious. So I think it's necessary that how it symbolizes or what is the representative, how he represents something, then that becomes the representative of something. And so therefore, when we see this verse, and then especially, and then when you say, having given up all other intentions should bring so much relaxation, refresh, like, wow, great. First, you said great because you are in the beautiful place. We discussed that about how the place should be and everything. And now you are on the cushion with like not focusing, you have a beautiful place. That is attachment. It's necessary, everything is there, it is okay. I don't have to put too much effort. So now I can do my practice quite smoothly. Then relax one thing, and sitting on the cushion, then what you feel. If you feel so exhausted, and then you sit on your bed, comfortable bed, you just go, wow, so good, right? Similarly, when you see this cushion now, and then now this cushion is to give you kind of a rest that you haven't got in your entire life. Now this is the beginning, and you feel, I'm going to get this peace out from there. And when you say being motivated by only one thought, so that is now you are just going to put the foundation. Whatever I'm going to do, all the activity, you are not just going to sit there, you are going to eat, you are going to do some walk, some kind of exercise for sure, no? Yogas in your house for sure. And then maybe not very, very fancy food, but quite good food, a little bit nutritious for sure, for one time. All when we're doing, and then if somebody, you ask yourself, why I'm eating? One answer. Why I'm taking a breath? One answer. So you're so focused. But outside people would say like, oh, that person is a meditator, but he looks quite comfortable in there. But everything what you are doing, outside people can say anything, but inside you are solid. Remember when the Buddha was meditating under a tree, and then he saw this, his body is weakening and not eating due to the strong fasting. And then he couldn't carry on. And then he felt like, I need to eat something now. I need to survive. Before I achieve some goal, I die. That is waste. so I will eat. So he had, people say kheer. I love kheer. This rice pudding. The kheer, and then he ate it. Then the people, I was told in the story, it says the disciple where he gave the first teaching, Four Noble Truths, is 5 disciples. These are the one who he was doing the fasting. And then they saw that Gautam Buddha ate and broke the Samaya. And then they abandoned Gautama and said, now we are not going to spend a time with person who broke Samaya. But the Buddha's answer was, I ate this because I felt I will die without a purpose. To achieve my goal, that's why I'm going to eat. That was a solid answer. And the outcome was, then when they met at the Varanasi, hearing his qualities, they are not biased. They are quite clever students. So they wanted to check, what did you got something new, realization. So then he gave this teaching, Four Noble Truths. So that is a really important teaching.
Rinpoche. They can hear the sound, but the video is frozen.
Okay.
Maybe
I'm meditating now. I am fully meditating.
maybe the connection's not strong.
The phone is behaving something like this.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can change it. I can change it. Okay. Better? Okay.
They look happy.
Okay. So this is very important the teachings for us, and this kind of way of thinking. And now we have to adapt this way of thinking. So for that purpose, whenever we eat food, we make offering. It is not just like I take a refuge and will be so rude if you don't offer and you call yourself a Buddhist. Shame on you. Not like that. It's not like that. So the purpose why I'm in. So that means you're living, your way of thinking, who you are. It represents so much. So that's I think necessary. And this kind of a commitment, this kind of holding this position, and it's person who wants to become a good meditator. Towards now the most important is to subdue it. I shall strive to settle my mind in an equipoise. So this is the one. Now look on the 39, verse number 39. Jigden di dang paru dong daba namne pongzhe je dene se dang jing dang zhe paru dong ne su rus. 39, please.
Both in this world and the next, desires give rise to great misfortune. In this life, killing, bondage, and flaying, and in the next, the existence of the hells.
39. Yeah, 39. The Kardosinata. Okay, jigden poru de yang de be yondan nan cha jin shen be ni pong zhe nam nye ba chin bu jie ba che de sti zi xin ji pe me lo so be che be ju poru so de. Okay. Um now dirisha de be ni mi samba. De be ni mi samba sur ba da. Daniel de samba tam di do. Ta de ba de ane ran zu pong be Deba namju di nga zu pungbi ki ju zo yinba di ta nga zu rikpe ki lamne rupya yore, nyamnyong tohne rupyu yore. Che zanga ta, nga ranzu nyamnyong tohne rupyu yondu sanbe, ane zo nga zu ki decha shedang timu sumgi narwa ne, shedang di pung rangi deba ama rangi dedun pungwar sheye ki di sambu shukcham kortogri. 다 가전스는 가지고 더버 더 가서 그래. 통로티 자체 람상 수수기 세미나로 교버제디 semdaniya yor. Da yina yan döba geje, döba ge, dinanen döcha, döcha dici. Ane manju seba da lamba seba na shinchi je. Ane döba döcha go kune langde, ane be le soya ge den, be dili denji, ane le da menda zomya lo soba teda di, ane du chigi digma song se di to chigi semna lo la kora la chi dosu ma jemna, ko kyun yinba di she dosu tu ka yor. De indu zambe ta tanda de le ya ndaba sinye di ane kondro di memche ndaba di ane nganzu ki karasa gore ta tanda nenjo ba chigla ya ane nye ki ta chigi tendo nyebar chebe ki ta dewe zawa di ane torbar chi nye meba sunyo zobo diri shaa si chi di she toba chi gugu yores.
And so here the next the verse 39 is discussing the contemplating the faults of desire and attachment. And when we sometimes we sort of look at so we can look at these we have you know experience of these things, and we can contemplate through example, or also we can contemplate you know, through examples, but also through experience as well. It's quite easy to we've all had experience of these things, and all of the afflictions, including attachment and desire. But I think it's generally easier for us to see that it's quite easy for us to sort of contemplate the faults of things like hatred and anger, because they sort of they're sort of although we feel that they rimshi konta de shedan degi sosugi derby duyun tanyebo de chadu de singing be dido
Debe kaso gore
de
shedang lo ji debe shula and ding ma son yaba di shukshin bu je tu do was.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. So after we've sort of when we sort of experience or give rise to anger in ourselves, it's sort of easier to get to very quickly sort of develop the feeling that that wasn't okay. That the anger has that kind of quality where it's easier for us, and we can see this through our experience, that it's easier for us to think, oh, that wasn't okay. I shouldn't have done that kind of thought that arises. But all of the shades of the kind of side of desire and attachment, so desire itself, attachment, craving, clinging, all of these things, then on the basis of that, the sort of actions that the actions that we're drawn into by those states of mind, it's not as easy for us to it's not so obvious to us that to immediately the thought, oh, that's not okay, that's not acceptable. It's not so easy for those kind of thoughts to arise. For the desire, it's more complicated, but for anger, not. So a yogi who wishes to practice correctly should definitely sort of make a strong sort of have a strong sort of promise that they will be to try to eradicate the root of attachment, as this is the one of the most complex things to get to see the faults of attachment and to get rid of it.
Mm. For that reason, I think if you have a regret of having strong aversion or the anger or hatred, then also it is very important that it is not okay to look at the faults of others. At the same time, when you have the regret, if you look at your way of thinking, that is not other than attachment. How much attachment you have. You cannot hear one nice part or one good thing in your enemy. If say maybe you may be wrong. Oh, it's terrible. It's so much thing. It's so much to bear. So that is a complete sign that you wanted to protect yourself from that. So for that reason, it is not we are saying we should protect, but we don't know how to protect. But we are destroying yourself, the way of your mind thinking. You are destroying yourself while you are thinking that with this hatred towards your enemy. So I don't need to elaborate much on that, because we have all solid experience on that. And now what we really need to look into is how this attachment towards ourselves is like necessary to look into. Otherwise, it is there is not any kind of method to bring down anger. It's more like you forgive him yesterday and today. Now you have a little bit more information. You got a little one information, and then you become the same old yesterday person. So that is a sign of the complete, you didn't forgive him completely. So that kind of forgiveness, you need to see what is for me there, what is there for me. If you don't feel anything, then it's more like you have to take a defeat. So which it sounds very unhealthy. So you don't want to hear that. You want to hear that if you let this go, if you forgive, you will become stronger. Then definitely we are going to do it. So now we need to find this out in us. So unless we don't see the faults of our attachment, and then especially when you're so attached to yourself, you are so blind or become so biased, and then there's no room for you to forgive. So for that reason, it is necessary how to look into your own mind and how to take care of yourself, how to be gentle on yourself. All this comes into one category. And then you can see, unless I don't destroy my own kind of a clinking, I cannot deal with any enemies, outside, inside. I cannot deal with anybody. So once you try to destroy the inner enemy, which is the clinging to yourself strongly, and then you might have like billions and billions of enemies. They call proudly, I'm their his opposition, or maybe different party, or maybe whatever they call, but you will feel always connected. You will be the first one to go there and help them. That's the clear, because you will not feel any comfortable when somebody is going through a problem, especially your enemy, because that remember in the 6th chapter, Shantideva is saying, stop feeding the yimideva. Yimideva, how do you?
Unhappiness and mental unhappiness.
Mental
discomfort. Discomfort, yeah, mental discomfort. Mental discomfort.
Shantideva said, in order to bring a patience and to stop the anger, you need to stop feeding your discomfort. That's what he said. So similar here, you have to stop feeding the discomfort. That discomfort not only on the anger, even you are on the attachment level, you have to see discomfort. It's a bit hard when you are in a attachment, strongly attachment, and looks very comfortable. It's very, very difficult. And especially you are on a romantic mode. And then you're saying, do you check how your feeling can be wrong, or no room for it? So I think we need to train our mind. When you feel like, of course, I don't trust myself. If you feel that, and then you will be a student who is having quality of time with his boyfriend or girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely he will be a person who will really differentiate between, oh, from here now I can see I'm expanding somewhere.
Yeah, no, elaborating.
I'm elaborating a lot. Not necessary. From my mind, it's too much. So then you will know. But then you are doing all the necessary things it's needed. But then you are not doing unnecessary things. You are not doing it. You can see very clearly. Otherwise, so that's the problem, right? At the beginning, in the relation, you do all sort of thing, and then after maybe 6-7 months, the relation becomes quite like stable, and then the girl and the boy always complain, saying like, before he used to be like that, now he's not doing like this. All these complaints are there. So if the person, I think that he already checked in his mind that is necessary, not necessary, maybe his behavior will be not strong differences there. That's my that's my just idea. We need to also check, because we are saying we can bring Dharma practice in the relation, in the way of the living in this world. So after going to the hill, we need to think, if I come down to the household family, then I cannot say like give me a room very isolated. It sounds like a prison. So now you need your way of socializing has to be much stronger, much better than the ordinary people's. So that you can really say they are ordinary and I'm extraordinary. You don't need to say it, but you need to feel it. So that's what I'm trying to see something kind of some connections going there and here through this verse. If not, then all whatever we do is means English
He's translated it as great misfortune. But I'm not sure that's yes,
the desire give rise to great misfortune.
Yeah.
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 Misfortune 쓰나? 더? 디레도가 님이 써야 돼. 남주 가서 그래. misfortune 쓰기로 해. 님이.
No, the faults.
Faults.
Yeah, the faults. Yeah. Or the disadvantages, sometimes you can say.
Disadvantage. Okay. 어디를
Not the faults. Right.
Then through attachment, all the killings, all this fight, all this unnecessary thing, you feel like it is so unnecessary, but we are so blind that we cannot say what is unnecessary is this attachment. But then attachment is okay, and the way of doing things are okay, but only the fighting is wrong. The killing is wrong. That couldn't be. If the consequences is wrong, then the cause is also wrong. So that's what we've been taught. This is what we think. This is whole point of we debate like that, isn't it? We say we put a seed of rice, only the rice will come out, not a flower, not a wheat, not a banana. Sounds funny, isn't it? So that is why in the 8 verses of Geshe, the verses of Geshe Langri Thamba, and there's a verse saying, whenever you see this negative emotion arises, this coming, you can see, and then may I have a power to cut down it from the root. Anybody have the by heart? No. Di 말해. Di 안 가도. Di 가서 로종 되게 말합니다. I think the 37 in the 37 practices. 37 practices of the Bodhisattva. In there it says, when you see all the negative things are manifesting, it's not manifested yet. So when you see this, then may I have the power to cut down from the root. So then, for that reason, I say I become a monk. I become a nun. I took the precepts. So beautiful. Saying like, I'm 100% sure with this mind, this behavior, I'm going to do this for sure. And for that, before this is manifesting, I see these consequences coming. And in order to stop it, put an end to this, put a dot on that. So I become a nun, a monk, not to preserve. And then one good thing is still wearing the robes, all these negative things coming out, and then you are the one like to bury it, just cover it very nicely with the hesitation. Very good. Isn't it? Isn't it? Okay.
Dirbe birum she chilam kundu rangula dolshin numon gemata dirbe.
Oh, did it?
Sigema.
Oh,
Yeah, sigema.
this verse 가져도.
It's verse number 3 in the 8 verses of mind training. Yeah. I'll read it. Yeah, so it says, if in my every action, I will watch my mind, and the moment destructive emotions arise, I will confront them strongly and avert them, since they will hurt both me and others. It's the third verse of the Geshe Lamritamba's 8 verses of mind training.
All this. So then this becomes so powerful. Everything finished, all obstacles are already manifested. And then you say it's too late. So when you're thinking like, if I don't do this, then it will come. Then this is for necessary, it's coming. 100%. Stop it. So that very important saying. Now, similarly here, the way of this way of thinking, because this Shantideva, the most senior, he's senior than Chagaba. So this comes, this way of understanding comes from here. So now then the 40. Now the 40 is more the elaboration. Saying now as we sometimes it's very healthy if you say like attachment is the fault and attachment is the root. Sometimes it is called one school in the
In Abhidharma, in the Abhidharma, the Vaibhashikas.
Vaibhashikas, one school, it talks about saying, I have to kind of the conclusion, saying that attachment is the root of samsara. That's it is coming through his experience. So it's there. So similarly, when you say it's a root, and now you are just you should sometimes we should practice like Buddha has said it and my teachers already said it, but then investigation is already left from your side. Then sometimes you need to answer what you just said, saying how it's so root, how it's root of all the negative emotions, how you can confirm that. That's a little difficult. Little difficult. I said very difficult. I didn't say that. I said little difficult. So for that, now Shantideva is giving us an example, saying, now if you look at the number 40 and the 41 and the 42, it talks about how the attachment will bring so many unnecessary the situations or problems. Number 40. 포념 모임을 간지를 도모를 술답신 득번 남섬 다음에랑 관계된도 만세벌 then 41 직발라양 다슈신 제장 세벌 제줄 때 강라 용수 큐베는 초도가와 your Denise, 41 and 40 and 41, please.
For the sake of women, many requests are first of all made through go-betweens. All forms of transgression and even notoriety are not avoided for their sake. I engage in fearful deeds for them and will even consume my wealth. But these very bodies of theirs, which I greatly enjoy in the sexual embrace.
Yeah. So it's more like we don't need so much explanation on this, because it's not about emptiness. It is not talking about impermanence. It is talking about our day-to-day routine. So if you look at there, so my kind teacher will always say, if we talk about attachment, then there are the three faults, three aspects of this the attachment. So the first one, it should be something like you have some kind of something to gain out from there, the attachment. If you love someone so much that you will use all of your energy to get that person, and all the wealth, all the name, whatever, you will do this. Put so much effort in there, so much effort in there. The secondly, even you got this position, frame, or this man or women or whatever, you got that. The second problem is no satisfaction. So it is like you have that, you need a different one, or you are not satisfied. You need more and more and more. The second one. Third one is you cannot let it go. You cannot let it go because this is kind of a subtle thing. The subtle thing, like if you really like, but in the world, if it is said forever, it sounds good, isn't it? So I will love you forever. It is the mantra that everybody wants to hear. And then you wanted to sue someone saying, this is the word that you are going to stress, saying, you said forever, until the death. You said it, right? So if you look at the first one, then Shantideva is saying, 40, the verse number 40 is saying, you have this, the person, I think middle person who works. Now these days, social media is so fast. So they took away our right of having the messenger. Yes. Before there is the middle person. Yeah. The Indian, we say the pigeon. I don't know in the West how you call, like in early time, you put over some kind of locket on the pigeon, and then you send the pigeon. So the pigeon is the delivery guy. So we give the nickname. So now these days it's more super fast. So, and also we need to study on that. Not studying, I'm saying not study how to decrease the attachment, but how it really increase the attachment. So saying early time when you send a love letter through some kind of messenger, waiting for like days and months, and then opening the envelope, it has a different taste. But now these days, just a message pops up. It's so quick. So I think even the quality of our attachment is now something, I don't know, so mixed up. I don't know. So, so here it's I'm not talking something like this. Shantideva started. Saying that Sultab, it's saying like, please do that, please don't do that. So all this request and Diwanam Sam Dhamina. So with this kind of spending so much energy in there, wasting so much time into this, and then these becomes the one of these. More you have a strong attachment from there, and that becomes the more pain in the future. Then that person whom you feel like you owe that person, you won't say that, but you feel that. And then that person goes with someone else. That person is looking at some people with some eye moments and I don't know, whatever, and it hurts you the most. So it already started from the day one when you think like I'm fallen in love. So it's totally clear it's not a love, it's attachment. There'll be something like, I wanted to see happiness in the other person. That's love. But the more attachment, it sounds like she can or he can make me so happy if I can have her. So then somebody is taking this moment from you, then it becomes clear through your experience. It is not a love, it is an attachment. And then I think with this kind of attitude that I have saying, sometimes I meet up with some friends and then they will ask my advice, like they are devoted and their children are now in the situation of in a relationship. And then they were saying like, please, what can we advise our children? And then I say, now we need to be super careful here. This is the moment. Sometimes even the Buddha himself manifested with so much kind of elegant physical form. I think they are not going to buy it. So forget about the parents, guru, and everything. This is something we need to wait. We can give the advice, but wait. They need to fall for sure, and then need to learn. Otherwise, saying you will fall, they are not ready to hear this. So it's clear. It's here saying once having this kind of attachment, manzem senakarto dinan evote said where are not avoided for their shake. Dirbe. Put it are not avoided. I don't know if it's the translation is brings this good translation or not, but this are not avoided for their shake. So this could be the one saying here. Kangi tundo manzembar. Now 41. Jigba layan da shushin and zerjang sever yurchate. Kangla yonsu kube na sa chodo gaju teda nis. And then now it comes to saying, why all this attachment? So it's a very healthy way of looking into this powerful teaching, saying all this effort is for what? To have the sexual pleasure. That's the one. Whatever you just say, it looks like we are working for this. So he's such a great monk. He does not have a title like a Rinpoche or something. But one day when we are talking, he said he sometimes go in the West and give teachings. His English and my English are like brothers. so he speaks very funny. So in the West, then they say, Geshe-la, do you have a realization on emptiness, bodhicitta, or so on? He said, no, I don't have a realization on bodhicitta and emptiness. But now up to almost now 60 years, I've been a monk. So I wore this robe and never had the relationship with others. And I have the realization of that. So I can protect from this realization and into the faults of the marriage or all this the faults that I feel I got away from this. So I feel this kind of a realization is there. And then he said, this sounds maybe easy for you guys, but if you look at the situation from all the history, the king's history, they fight for this. And the nation fights for this at the time of the kings, right? And then if you look at the small ant, they start fighting, they just tear it down for this, the bears or animals. So for this case, I feel I have this realization, but no guarantee. That's what he said. It's quite a powerful one, but somebody looks into this way. But for that reason, one should always think, I'm so lucky to have it. If not, I'm 100% sure I will be having this kind of problem, that kind of problem already. But now I'm in this position where I can see this poisonous grass growing, and then you cut it from the seed, and then green things occur. Seed, cut it from the seed, root, and then you feel so relaxed. This is what here it's talking about. Chodo gawa nidanis. Now that 42. Kingru ni shemi na rawan tangni da me la rabdo de jing yong shen ne jichiri nyangyen de min do sa 42 please.
Are nothing other than skeletons. They are not autonomous and are identityless. Rather than being so desirous and completely obsessed, why do I not go to the state beyond sorrow instead?
Or nothing other than skeletons. What does that mean? That sounds a little bit straightforward. So now if you look deeply what the attachment really needs, and then you come to the level where it's saying the desire, the very subtle, people won't say it, but deep inside it's there. So saying the sexual pleasure. So if you try to open that, then it's the physical touch, so-called this pleasure. It's so funny. If you look at this situation, it's nothing wrong there actually. It's one like two bodies there, two skeletons are there. But for that reason, all this mess. That's the problem. So it's saying like what this sexual pleasure really needs is these two things staying together. And for that, all this mess, problem we created in this world, in the family, in the world, in other relations, cheating, house and wife, cheating, all this pain towards the children, all this for purposes for this physical touch. It looks like two skeletons staying together. And that is so stupid. That's it. That's how it goes. And then stops there saying, that's really funny. That's actually not necessary. It's not worth putting so much effort to gain this kind of pleasure. And now, and then automatically, if somebody has some kind of a sexual desire strongly, if that kind of a way of thinking comes, automatically goes down. And then you become so calm. And then other desire, like you wanted to have a pizza. I need an ice cream. Today is so hot. I want some watermelon juice or whatever. That's, you can control it. That the sexual desire, how to decrease it. So this kind of meditation helps. So it is a very clear sign that one time His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, was asked a question. You can watch on YouTube saying that the person who interviews His Holiness said, you are meeting so many people every day. You can see so many like attractive women. Don't you get any kind of desire or something? That's His Holiness very clear. Answer say, yes. Sometimes yes. But then thinking of, oh, staying, children, problems. He said that. And then and then he said, no. And it goes back. Very clear. So it's the same thing here. So all this realization of His Holiness already taught by the Shantideva, the great master here. So that's why. So it's going back. And now saying this way of putting so much energy shouldn't take away. Now this is a clear keyword saying shouldn't take away. Put it rather than being so desirous and completely obsessed, why do I not go to the state beyond sorrow? Why not? I completely feel even this short pleasure is for short time and wasting so much energy. Now I don't want to spend whole this energy for a stupid reason. I wanted to bring this for so much stronger and better. That is go to the state beyond sorrow. Liberation. Why stop? Now I wanted to put that. Then without having attachment, then household is also possible. And if with the respect, if I say directly, can still make children without a desire, attachment. So why so Bodhisattvas and the Arhats, so clever. We are putting this effort for this pleasure, right? So Bodhisattvas and the others, they wanted to put this effort and bring this pleasure. And that's why we call it stupid. With respect to so they say, then rather than being so desirous and completely obsessed, why do I not go to the state beyond the sorrow, to the liberation? That's good. So then you can meditate without any distractions. So try that. Okay, we stop. So then now, for maybe few months, I think we cannot continue. Because then I need to go to Spiti and then maybe Europe. So it will quite difficult to continue. But anyway, we stopped on a very strong message from Shantideva. So then maybe I am expecting or hoping next time when we meet, there will be some people who come with kind of similar realization. Okay, thank you. Okay, dedication, please.
Having thoroughly investigated in accord with all that I have heard, day and night through the four reasonings, mind born of reflection on these topics of contemplation, may this discernment sever all doubts. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All powerful Chenrezig Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. In all my lives, never separated from perfect gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma. By completing the qualities of the grounds and paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. I fully dedicate all these virtues to be able to train just like the hero Manjushri who knows reality, and just like Samantabhadra as well. I fully dedicated all of my roots of virtue with the dedication praised as the best by all the gone beyond victorious ones of the 3 times in order to have good conduct. With my heart going out with great compassion, in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread, or once spread have declined, may I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Well,